Hello, everybody. What's going on? It's Sunday, and it's the last day of the week in which I promised I would do this video, so I'm gonna do it. Just got back from a wedding today. I was at my old flatmate's wedding in Ireland. It was really fun. It's good to see some pals out there again and see me and four of us lived together for 4 years, three of us for 5 years, and we lived with the guy who was getting married for 4 years. So it's good to catch up. Don't get to see them as much anymore because we live in different places. But yeah, it was nice. It was a nice weekend. Hope you had a great weekend as well. And we're gonna be finally doing the genetics Ymir video. Put it up just now. I recorded this a while ago, and I've been talking about doing it. I think it was 3Lie Tech Hack 646 requested it, and I promised I would do it, and I said I'd recorded it, the gameplay, and just hadn't done it. And here we are. So yeah, shout outs to 3Lie Tech Hack 646. And yeah, see, I do as I say I'm gonna do eventually. Just gotta nag me about it. Anyway, looking at the drafts, this was a last pick Ymir for genetics, and some people requested that we do like it's interesting to do reviews. I think of losing games as well as winning games. Winning games are always going to get more views and more hype and stuff like that. But I think it is cool to have a look. This was obviously considered a very, very good pick in the draft phase here. Genetics went for the Ymir into, you know, Pele, Atlas, and Hachiman, who don't really have great answers to the Ymir. Well, I mean, we'll see in this game that the Atlas matchup doesn't actually seem so bad. But I think the thing here was momentum, and the Dragons in this game had all the momentum and all the aggression. And yeah, I've mentioned it a million times, but it was incredible how well they just made calls and stuck to them on the world stage. So this was yeah, to win the Smite World Championship, and this is genetics Ymir to lose the Smite World Championship, I guess. Recorded it a little bit fast forwarded and stuff, so it's not too long a game. I can't remember how long the video is. You'll be able to see at the bottom. But yeah, build start wise goes War Flag, Med, Horn Shard, 4 health pots, 2 multi pots. Interesting. So I guess he feels like he needs a bit more mana sustain in this lane. Maybe as well not confident that they're gonna get totem. Osiris versus Bellona. I would imagine that Bellona would probably get the first totem, but I'm not sure. We'll see. Maybe just wants the doubles, just like quite often you'll pick up health pots and multi pots if you plan on brawling in lane, because wow, Coast and Mike were so late to lane there. But because you're planning on brawling and you want the double sustain from being able to have two pots running at once. Obviously you have one, the other person only has health pots, so you have 1.5 times as much healing as them. This was, I feel like, pretty bad from genetics, honestly. Could have died if he got stunned at the tower. It looks like the stun was missed out by Coast there entirely, which is a bit weird, but yeah, just stepped a little too close up. They're a bit overconfident against Atlas with the tools that he has to pull you back and put you in the tower, so we shouldn't have been there. But Mike taking a lot of poke here. He's down to 3 health pots, 1 multi. Actually, same as genetics at this point, which surprises me, but genetics did take a tower shot, I suppose. But yeah, I don't remember. I don't think much happens in this laning phase, to be honest. I remember the first blood, and it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen when the supports are in lane, because they both make a rotation. That was probably like the key part of this game. Keep an eye on it. So genetics takes an early back at level 3, which is interesting as well. It looks like Gilgamesh was over there picking up the shield camp. Still on the old map, you know. It's hard to even remember what's going on here. They look to gank Coast. Coast just about lives that Patatom gank. Maybe that was the plan there, but it's weird because like Gilgamesh is so loud that it would be so obvious he was at least around the shield camp, and the fact that it was done and picked up. Even if genetics back, probably shouldn't have been getting into trouble there. This is the end of a 5-game set, the end of a big weekend of games, so definitely the time when players are going to be less perfect than usual, you would say. Oh god, am I going to sneeze? I hope not. See genetic. This became a pretty common theme at this event. Oh, there was a pause at this point, I guess. I don't remember. I'm fast forwarding. Hopefully I don't mess up the fast. Oh, there we go. Almost messed it up. I guess I kind of messed it up. Anyway, good job recording, Paul. I don't remember what that pause was for. Was this when comms? It was probably just comms stuff not working. Because headsets were ruined. I've talked about this, right? How the... some of the Jade Dragons, in particular, I think Coast, like, just, like, spiked a headset into the ground and broke it. They broke the entire audio line, I think, at the end of their semi-final reverse sweep. Semi-final? Yes, that's correct. Semi-final reverse sweep. So yeah, not ideal. Not ideal from them. And that's why there were so many pauses. I think overall it was a pretty smooth SWC though. This is the... Oh yeah, hang on. Let's actually pause for a sec. I want to see what... I want to look at the map here a little bit as we watch this come in. Sorry, I should have been more focused. Okay, so Genetics goes back to base. Let's see where Atlas is going. So Atlas went up the lane and over here looking for a cheeky play on the right hand side without being spotted. So he's over here and then he rotates underneath this fight. You'll see. That was actually really impactful. You can see Laspra and Dardas looking to fight now on these mids. Pagon gets caught. Aegis is, instead of dashing initially, didn't want to get his dash caught maybe. And then, because they have the Atlas coming around the back, they pick up this early kill on the Ymir, putting the Ymir behind, putting the Toth behind, and giving the Pele a lead. I mean, what more can you ask for? PBM also, if you look at the builds here, he did go for Mail of Renewal. So he's going all in, like, we're going to run this early game, we're going to fight early, we're going to win this game in, like, 15 minutes, which I think is interesting. Genetics just going down normal build path. War Flag, Thebes, you know, standard. We'll probably upgrade his med pretty early, stuff like that. But it just means that Mike is going to be able to run the game in the early game. And that was the plan here with this comp and yeah, with the way that the Dragons have been playing. Because I still think this Ymir was like a great pick. I don't think the Dragons draft was that good. I think they just played better. I was over the Gilgamesh for sure. I think the other 4 gods that the Warriors picked up are like crazy strong. There was one good Gilgamesh game, I remember. Ooh, ult from Netrioid on PBM's pull. But PBM is, yeah, he's so healthy. No danger of going down. I'm hovering over the Mail of Renewal. There you go. If you want to read it, you can read it now. We do have the infamous, is that coming up soon? The infamous wall moment? I don't think it was nearly as significant. I mean, I don't think it was nearly as significant as people made out. It was, to be honest. Obviously, like, you want your star player to hit those, but very difficult wall to hit, and I think that Netroid was dead if he didn't wall. You know, it's not like he walled Netroid in and Netroid was going to live and dash away. He was going to die to the Pele if the wall didn't come out. But yeah. It's funny to talk about, because it's Sam, I suppose. Ghost under tower, Genetics rotate underneath, looking for a gank. Panathon was there as well, they're going to invade these backs. Meanwhile, Atlas was in base. Atlas and Merlin are hovering over to maybe defend this purple, I think. They'll see that these backs are gone, so they're like, okay, you know, this is happening. But Atlas just pick up speed, he did. Interesting. The speed buff. I wonder if that was part of their plan. They wanted him to have speed for some reason, to be able to get around the map more, to be able to get more active. Just around the back. The shield buff will be secured though. Genetics should be a-okay. Genetics, oh, I wonder if I showed his leveling order at all. I probably should have. I'm sure he'll have like some points in the 1, some points in the 3. Probably not leveling the 2 at all. Maybe we'll see at some point. Can't remember if I showed it when I recorded this so long ago. Let me check. Nah, I don't want to tab it. Do I? Let me check. I recorded this. I can probably see here. Oh. I recorded this on the 22nd of January, at 11 p.m. I guess it was the day before Season 11 came out, right? But yeah, I remember when I was recording it. I'm going to say this at this point in the video, not at the start. I remember when I was recording it, I was like, wasn't that interesting a game? But yeah, we got that. And that initial fight, I think, was the most interesting for me. The Atlas rotation round the solo tier 2, up through the lane, ends up, like, that wasn't what they drew up, by the way. They drew up a blue invade. They were planning on going for, like, a surprise Atlas turns up with a blue moment. Doesn't walk over any wards because of the wave path. Won't be seen by the mid laner. Won't be seen by the solo laner. Blah, 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 blah. And they look for a play on the blue. But it turned into this opportunistic, you know, round the back flank on this fight on the solo side mids instead. So, just interesting. And that's the way it turned out. What's happening here? Gold Fury fight. There was a teleport over from Bologna Osiris. Still on the right-hand side. Teleports over as well. And this is look at Genetics trying to get in here, by the way. Look at this CC by Mike. He's just like, nope. Not allowed. Gets hit by the ult as well, but just absolutely destroyed that Gold Fury. And that was story of the Dragons, this event, right? They ripped objectives. They committed to calls. They didn't show any fear. And that's why they are the reigning and last ever Smite 1 world champions. Crazy. Crazy. But yeah, I don't really know what I'm going to do content-wise over the next little bit. There's that Content Creator Cup thing, but it's on over so many weekends that, I mean, I'll definitely miss some. Fire was baited here. They killed Panatom. Was it even a fire pool, or was it just a pick on Panatom? I don't know. Genetics wasn't involved, so we don't care. Thebes stacked up, working on a magical protection item, which is interesting as well. Worried about Merlin Atlas damage, I guess. Not so worried about Pele, Hachiman, Osiris. Maybe wanting to get Shoguns online early to help out his Bologna and Gilgamesh and Ishtar is my guess, but let's see what he goes for. Because Panatom has a tier 1 Mage Pro item as well. A Kusari. So I don't know if he's planning on going Shoguns also. Gank mid, decent wall, catches Mike, gets the freeze, and surely they get that one. Yeah, Genetics actually credited with the kill, just walked up mid. The heavy lifting there was mostly done by Panatom. The gold lead still 4k. Support level lead is 1 level in favor of the Atlas. No, about even now. That leveled up the game for Genetics. Mid lane is probably where the biggest problem is. Mid lane and ADC. Oh, that was the wall. I think I went back and watched it again, so I don't need to do it manually. We'll see. Is the one? Yeah. We'll get a like slow-mo of it here, I think. The fight breaks out on... This is a shield buff fight again. Look at the Pele wrapping underneath. Not... Oh, what am I doing? No wards, I guess. Gets onto Netrioid. See, I mean, she was dead. It makes the fight slightly worse that she died closer to the rest of the team, because Lasper doesn't have to reroute from the lane, but they didn't end up picking up another kill anyway. Toth is 1 HP in mid. Oh, this is when there was an Atlas ult that nearly hit the Toth. There was some epic spectating from Doug. Wall on the tower. There's a well-known Ymir thing. He's gonna die? He's not gonna die, right? Oh, he's real tanky. He med? I assume so. Yeah, he did. That was a good fight by Genetics, but really hard to deal with Osiris as a Ymir. He does just beat the crap out of you, but no! Genetics actually had a really good fight there. Wow. If we go back, we'll do a replay of that one as well. Watch it back. So he walls off the DPS on the tower, stops Gardes doing much. He ults the CC, stands in it, does a lot of damage to Laspra, stops their DPS on the tower. It's another good wall, splits the fight, actually cancels it to try and get a freeze off. That was maybe a mistake. And I think Nika missed his 2 there. So Genetics actually ends up living. Yeah, a little bit of a mess by Nika. And they presumably kill Panatom. Do they get Nika in turn? They must do, right? Yeah. That was a decent fight by Genetics, though. I wonder if he had to cancel the ult. I wonder if they could have just kept... Who was it that was... Was it the Pele that was split from the team? Maybe just keep her in there and go for her. It seemed like they wanted to go for a different target. Genetics wall was kind of splitting the fight. She is a Shoguns for him, and a Shoguns for Panatom as well, as I thought it might be. And an Iron Mail coming online. So, maybe an Emperor's is this going to be? I would guess. Going Bracer as well as Meditation. Book of the Ascetic. Pyro picked up. Did he just drop? He dropped his His bracer on top of where there was already a sentry, maybe? Or on top of where there was already a ward? Oh no, maybe it's not. Looks like it. Maybe the ward expired that I saw before. Maybe it was just the bracer. I don't know. Yeah, it's a nice spot to have a bracer in for disengage. At this stage in the game, it's not upgraded, right? So your bracer is mostly for engaging and disengaging. It gives you movement speed and vision. So it's a good spot to have it for both getting to the fire pit and getting out of the fire pit, right? Nice place to have it down. State of the game. Merlin is a scary boy for Ymir at this point. No shard yet, but Reaver online, that's going to absolutely rip through Ymir's health pool. Just a very fed Merlin, rather, 6 levels ahead. Hachiman as well, going a crit build. Glad that teams figured that out eventually. So again, they try and rip an objective. This fight, it looks like they're just going to DPS it. Mike, yeah, throwing Genetics out the pit is kind of a telltale of that. And Ishtar, Netriod and the Ishtar just didn't rotate at all here. They decided to, they kind of like half let this go. But then they sent their 2 tanks in to contest. SOT goes down, Panatom goes down, and again, this is why I think Ymir is really difficult to play into Osiris. If Osiris gets on top of you, especially with his passive, he's really hard to deal with. I think Pegon got 1, ends up falling down. He can, the boys, get fire and get 4. Netroid did get the tier 2 in the end, actually. Excuse me, I was going to say he didn't get it. It looked like he backed off initially, but maybe he went back for that. Did pick up the tier 2 at least, but this game is continuing to spiral. And the dragons, that was a big potential throw moment, by the way. That's like a scary call to make when you're winning. I don't know. I honestly, in a lot of cases, don't even. I think even in that case, I don't really like that fire call. When you're winning this convincingly, I feel like the easiest way and the most consistent way to throw it is to rip objectives like that fire giant at like 18 minutes or whatever. You know, do it at fire too early when you don't have great secure. Another pause now, and lose it, and then the other team stalls out the game and the compound scales you. So it's a scary call to make, but they made it and they made it work. And the dragon's sieging, I feel like, I don't remember if it was in this game, but over the tournament their sieging is so much better than it has been. They were so much more patient. They didn't give the other team opportunities to make big plays. They just played the map properly, which is a nice change. 23 minutes in, FG, I think still on, oh, FG fell off, it's gone. So no Phoenix is off the fire, but all tier 2s off the map while we're watching Genetics just try and get some farm desperately. Does he have his starter upgraded? He does. He has Bracer, he has Emperors, but they gave FG one more time. So we see Pele go to mid, they group up 5 in solo. Oh, it's because the Titan's spawning. So they know the Titan's going to spawn here because of the HP of the towers. So they set up in solo so that they can kill that Titan. And honestly, Titans kind of make sieging just like easy mode. It is, I would say, virtually impossible to defend a Phoenix. If the Titan comes in full HP and the enemy team sieges with it on a Phoenix, I think it is virtually impossible to defend. Just because you have to... The Titan will solo the Phoenix fairly easily if you're DPSing the other players, and the Hunter is only going to take, like... The Hunter, you give the Hunter 2 seconds of hitting the Phoenix, and that is most of its HP gone. So yeah, really, really difficult to defend. Makes sieging pretty easy mode. Yeah, I don't really like the Titans that much. It's good for the Dragons, though. Maybe that's why the Dragons won Worlds. If sieging... If you cannot physically mess up sieging... Like in this situation, what do? The Titan's just getting the Phoenix. You see it go? Just owns it. Losing 1 Phoenix is about best case scenario here. If they can keep it to 1, they'll be happy. Mid-wave, not quite at the tower yet, so they have to step into the Phoenix and tank it up a bit. Backdoor protection still up. They get the Phoenix very, very low. Good ult by Panatom to bring a lot of space. They still have Toth ult as well. Genetics not all that involved here. Again, we'll see probably if they go... Ooh, but the Titan's still up. Yeah, and they have to go back to deal with the Titan, and they lose the mid-Phoenix. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Genetics maybe could have hung around there, dropped a wall in front of the Phoenix or something. Seemed like they were willing to let this one go. And the Dragons are happy with that. They got their 2 Phoenixes with the Siege. They can go and strip the rest of the farm off the map. Pyromancer, Gold Fury... I mean, their lead is just going to be obscene. I mean, you look at it now, 17,000 gold. And yeah, level 20, so XP starting to matter a lot less, obviously. Atlas close to 20. It's just genetics on this Ymir who's going to be getting value out of levels, and like, you know, what's he leveling up is 2, maybe some point, like a point in his ult, a point in his 2 that he's missing. Who cares? Not important. XP pretty much, I mean, health scaling and prot scaling, I guess, more important. Even then, I don't know. Don't think the levels are particularly significant, but the gold, on the other hand, most certainly is. Look at that. I don't think I remember seeing exactly what Laspra's Pele build ended up as. He went Dawnbringer, Mantle, and Blue Pridwin. And Protector of the Jungle. He is so tanky in the jungle. That's crazy. FG. Again, EFG in 10 seconds, so you want to be pulling about now. If you're the Dragons, in my opinion, I don't know if there's something they're waiting on, maybe. There's no relics down. So maybe they're just waiting on fire minions to put the Titan under duress. Looks like that is a plan. You can see the mid-wave going into the Titan room now, so someone's going to have to back. They just didn't want to take any potential throw point here. Now they, again, don't see anyone on the Titan, so they're waiting, they're pinging. You can see what their plan is. They're poking genetics over the wall, and now that genetics is poked and the minions are on the Titan, they say, okay, now it's time to pull it. Nika walks up, zones, and EFG absolutely melts down. That felt like a moment for me where Warriors, ooh, they caught out the Pele there, forced the Laspra's ult. But again, this is just so good for Dragons. The Phoenix is gonna fall again. They get one Phoenix, and now they can go over to the duo side and start pressuring that. They can maybe let someone split in mid. I wouldn't even do that, I don't think. I think I would just go over to duo and go for that Phoenix. So they sent Osiris there to push out the waves. They're gonna grab a bomb before sieging. But yeah, you can see what I meant by, like, Genetics just didn't really do much this game. He fell behind early. He sat around. He waited for mistakes, which never came, I guess. Is what it feels like to me. Play on the right-hand side. Now, this time, this is where they decided to make their stand. Damage onto Dardes. I've never seen a Tothel do that little damage. Only like half health him. What's that about? Laspra goes in, kills SOT. Phoenix falls. Panatom with it. And now just one Phoenix standing between the Jade Dragons and a Smite World Championship win. It would be the first for Nika, Laspra, Dardes, and Coast. EBM getting a second. His first one coming in Season 4 with United. Forward they go. Hit the Titan, hit the Titan, hit the Titan. End the game, end the game, end the game. Woo! We did it. There you go. I want to go back. You know what? I'm going to quickly find that. Where's the first blood? I want to look at the first blood again. I want to... Because I think this is so... This is literally what decided the game for me. This weird pathing from PBM. Look at him. Look at him go. You see him? Where is he going? He goes this way, skirts around. He's like, oh, I think they maybe saw the ward place here. And then this fight, where it all goes wrong. I think Pele... So did Pagon have no, I think he had his dash, or maybe he dashed in mid before. He uses his Toth ult to secure the mids. And then he's worried about getting his dash caught, I guess. Aegis is early and ends up falling down. And then Genetics is in trouble as well. I think Panatom, he backed right before Pagon ulted on these mids. Surely not. Needed to sell his glowing emerald. Whatever you call that. Is it glowing emerald? Tier 1 Gaia? That he bought with his gold, I'm sure. Yeah. This is the fight that decided it for me. And should have the post-game stats. I don't know if there's anything interesting here. Low damage numbers across the board. 21 beans out of the Toth. 26k out of Mr. MVP. Dardes. You don't see that it's 0 player healing and 16 wards from SOT, by the way. What are the ward numbers? Pretty high from the Oni Warriors, yeah. That's what I meant. Pretty high from them. 19 wards out of genetics, 16 out of SOT. They wanted to have vision control. But like they had vision control, but they couldn't do anything because they were losing. I guess they wanted to know when objectives were being done so they could be around, but they ended up not contesting anything. So I don't know. All in all, a bit of a weird one. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the demo review regardless. It's a bit of an odd one, and it's a long way to go back. Totally different meta. It's weird looking at like old shield buff location and stuff like that. Where are the teleporters? Who knows? But yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did, I guess. I don't know. Subscribe if you're not. And I hope you've had a great weekend. Maybe see you next week for some havering and some pub quiz updates. We'll see. Don't have much to haver about right now. Yeah, bye.